God is more trustworthy than people.
神要比人来得更加的信实。
Sometimes people make promises they never intend to keep just so they won't look bad.
很多的时候，人们为了自己的脸面而许下了他们无法承诺的诺言。
Sometimes people make promises with good intentions but forget about them.
很多的时候，我们为了一个出于好的意向来许下了诺言，但是我们就忘了我们许的诺言。
Sometimes they make promises and remember, but something comes up and they're not able to keep it.
有的时候我们许下的诺言，我们也能够做到，但是因为一些无法预期的困难，我们却无法实现我们的承诺。
God is not like that.
但神却不是这样，
He never makes a promise and breaks it.
神从来没有食言过，
He never forgets a promise he made.
他也从来没有忘记他应许我们的诺言，
He is never too weak to accomplish all that he wanted to do.
他也从来没有能力来实现他想要做的任何的事情。
He does that because that's the kind of God he is.
神这样做是因为他就是这样的神。
It says in Deuteronomy 7:9, Know therefore that the Lord your God is God, the faithful God who keeps covenant and steadfast love with those who love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations.
申命记中这样的说道：所以你知道耶和华你的神，他是神，他是信实的神，他向爱他守他诫命的人守约施慈爱，直到千代。
But even greater than this, God delights in making covenants with people.
虽然神这样说，但是他也愿意向很多具体的人能够一起来立很多不一样的约定。
To Noah, he promised never to send a worldwide flood and destroy all humanity again.
他跟挪亚立约，他不再在世界上再发大洪水。
To Abraham, he promised descendants, and through those descendants, to bless the whole world.
对亚伯拉罕，他立下了诺言，他让亚伯拉罕成为这个世界的祝福，让他的后代多如海上的沙。
Through Moses, he made a covenant with Israel that shaped the identity of the people.
通过摩西，他立下了这样的一个约，他改变了以色列人他们的身份。
The people through whom Jesus would come.
那个身份就是通过主耶稣基督的来而改变。
To David, he promised an eternal dynasty that is ultimately fulfilled in Jesus Christ our Lord.
神也和大卫立下了一约，他赐他了一个永恒的王朝，这个王朝也是通过主耶稣基督的来而实现。
But these covenants are never just private matters about them between them and God.
神从来没有和这些人立约，仅仅是关乎这几个人，其实他的约是关乎所有的人。
They always concern the rest of the world too.
神的约永远是关乎这个世界。
That is why you often find people praising God for his faithfulness.
所以我们常常看到很多人因为神的约而为向他献上感恩和赞美。
Especially when it concerns one of his covenants.
特别是当我们提到以上的这几个神的立的约。
When Jeremiah sought for comfort when sitting among the rubble of Jerusalem, he said,
当耶利米在巴比伦沦陷以后，坐在耶路撒冷的残垣断粉之中，他寻求安慰的时候，他这样说
But this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Lamentations 3:21-23.
在耶利米哀歌当中这样的说道：但我的心回转过来，因此就有指望。因耶和华的慈爱，我们不致灭绝；因他的怜悯永不断绝。每早晨这都是新的，你的信实极其广大。
One of the psalms that praises God for his faithfulness is Psalm 89, where we will be today.
有一首诗篇在当中，对神的信实就一直在赞美。这节诗篇就是我们今天要看的89篇。
Psalm 89 is the only psalm that is written by Ethan the Ezraite.
在诗篇当中，只有这个诗篇89篇是以斯拉人比探写的这一篇。
We know almost nothing about him.
我们很多人大概对以探没有太多的了解。
In 1 Kings 4:31, he is compared to Solomon and Solomon's wisdom.
但是在列王记上有一节当中提到把他和所罗门的这个智慧相比较。
He also appears in 1 Chronicles 2:6, possibly as someone whom David appointed as a son.
而且在历代志上也提到过，大卫任命这个以探作为他其中的一个歌者。
But whoever he was, he understood that God's covenant with David concerned him, even though he was not of the lineage of David.
不管这个以探是谁，但是我们可以看出来，以探他对神和大卫所立的约的理解，是不光关乎神和大卫，是关乎以探自己和其他人。
He celebrates God's faithfulness, and he knows God is going to keep his word.
所以他在赞美神的信实的时候，他知道神的约是信实的。
But there was no guarantee that God would do that within his lifetime.
但是他也不知道神所立的约是否是在他的这个生命之中能够实现他的约。
Which is why he says in verses 46 and 47 of Psalm 89, How long, O Lord, will you hide yourself forever? How long will your wrath burn like fire? Remember how short my time is.
所以他在这个诗篇89篇，他这样写道：耶和华呀，这要到几时呢？你要隐藏自己到永远吗？你的愤怒如火焚烧，要到几时呢？求你想念我的生命是何等短暂！你创造世人，要使他们归于何等虚空呢？
The point is that he understands that God's covenant with David concerns him, so he wants God to do something while he can benefit from it.
所以他的这些感言，是因为他知道神和大卫立约，但是这个约也关乎他，他希望在他的生命的当中能够看到神的约的实施。
The Psalm 89 is in two parts.
所以在诗篇的89篇当中，可以分成两段来看。
Up through verse 37 is very positive.
37节以前呢，都是非常积极向上。
And he uses this in poetic form to talk about God's eternal covenant with David and how faithful God is in making it.
所以你看，就用这个诗的语言来描述神和大卫所立的这个永久的约，这个约也是关乎他自己。
The second part turns to the reality of his own time when David, it doesn't seem to fit the promises God had made with David.
第二部分呢，是看上去神所立的约，但是这个约对他来讲是没有办法甚至在大卫那个年代能够实现的，在他感到。
And because of time, we will only be going up to verse 18 today.
但是实际上现在我们也才看到到现在这个到17世纪到18世纪。
But what is it about God's faithfulness to his covenant that is so wonderful?
为什么我们说神和人立的约是如此的奇妙呢？
It's because God is so great.
因为神是伟大的神。
Imagine someone rich and powerful, whoever your favorite is.
可以想象你有一个朋友，他是很有权势的。
Imagine this person became your dear friend.
如果这个有权势在世界上有权势的人是你的一个好朋友。
And imagine that all of their wealth and all of their power was at your disposal because they were your friend.
我们可以这样的想象，这个有权有势的人、有才的人，却是像忠心的仆人一样供你驱使。
That would be really amazing, right?
如果那样的话，是不是很令人惊奇的事情
On the other hand, everyone knows that dogs are always loyal.
我们都知道狗是很忠心的。
That's nice, but it's only your dog. What can you do for it, really?
尽管这样挺好的，但是它还是一只狗，你不能和它做什么。
It's the greatness of God that makes God's faithfulness wonderful.
但是对神来说，他的信实的广大是因为他神的属性。
Like many psalms, the first few verses effectively give us the introduction or the main theme of the psalm.
就和其他的很多的诗篇一样，它的开始的几节都是讲到了这个诗篇的主题。
He says, I will sing of the steadfast love of the Lord forever. With my mouth I will make known your faithfulness to all generations. For I said, steadfast love will be built up forever. In the heavens you will establish your faithfulness. You said, I have made a covenant with my chosen one. I have sworn to David my servant. I will establish your offspring together and build up your throne for all generations.
所以89篇的第1节到第4节，我要歌唱耶和华的慈爱直到永远，我要用口将你的信实传到万代，因为我曾说你的慈爱必建立到永远，你的信实必坚立在天上。我与我所拣选的人立了约，向我的仆人大卫起了誓，我要坚立你的后基直到永远，要建立你的宝座直到万代。
Now, one way to notice a theme in the Bible is to notice what words are repeated over and over again.
有一个诀窍，我们看诗篇当中，就是看它的主题是看有哪些词会重复在诗篇当中出现。
I've been using the word faithfulness, but that word has a lot of possible translations, and yours may say something different.
我们在不停地说这个信实，实际上在圣经当中，在很多的翻译当中，信实也有它不同的含义。
The Hebrew word that translates is hard to translate because it has a wide range of meaning.
就是希伯来文当中的信实，它就有一个相当广义的一个含义在里面。
It's often also translated steadfast love, or kindness, or mercy.
在希伯来语的这个信实，它可以作为慈爱、善良、忠诚和怜悯。
Here it means God is faithful to the promises He made.
这里讲到的是神对他所应许的约定是信实。
It's the guarantee that God will bless because He said He would.
所以说，当神说他要祝福我们，他一定会祝福我们。
Another word often used in this psalm is words for forever.
另外一个词，我们看到它经常出现的就是永远。
If God just made a temporary promise with anyone, that would be amazing because He's God.
即便神和某些人他立了一个有一段时期的约，也是令人惊讶的，因为他是神在和人立。
But He delights in making promises that live as long as He does.
所以他所立的约要超过我们人的生命所能承受。
Third word is covenant.
另外一个词就是约这个词。
A covenant is more than just a promise.
约要比承诺从含义上、程度上要大得多。
In the ancient world, it was a legally binding agreement, kind of like a business contract.
所以约在古时候来讲，是从法律上面具有一个协议的效力，就像我们现在的合同和契约。
Except it usually had religious overtones as well, usually involved God.
但是在上古的时候，大多数这个约的这个词用是人和神之间的关系。
Now, people could make covenants between themselves. Two equals could make a covenant, like David and Jonathan made a covenant between each other.
人和人之间也可以立这个约，就像大卫和Jonathan 一样。
But kings in the ancient world could also make a covenant with one of their subjects.
这个在国王时代，他们和他们的下属之间也可以立一些约。
In this case, the king would promise a particularly faithful servant of his to do something good for him.
所以，这个国王如果立约，就可以让他的大臣或者仆人能够忠心他，做一些特别他喜悦的事。
And in that case, the covenant would be unconditional.
那个时候的约是无条件的。
But whatever the covenant was, it established an obligation between two people.
如果一旦立了约以后，就说明这两个人之间有一个承诺和应许。
To break a covenant was a big deal, and to keep a covenant was to be faithful and trustworthy.
所以，如果失约的话，是一件很大的事情。但是，如果守承诺的约是大家都追求去做的。
That's what God's faithfulness or steadfast love is all about.
这就是神的慈爱和信实。
Psalm 89 is a reflection not just of God's faithfulness in general, but of His particular faithfulness in His covenant with David.
所以，在这个诗篇89篇当中，不仅仅谈到的是神和人立的约，特别是神和大卫之间立了永恒的约。
And He specifically takes 2 Samuel 7 and comments on that passage where God makes the covenant with David.
所以，在这个撒母耳记当中，圣经特别提到了这个约，就是神和大卫所立的约。
I would encourage you to turn to 2 Samuel chapter 7.
我们可以，如果有圣经的话，你可以翻到撒母耳记下。
God had given David a measure of peace from all the wars he had fought in 2 Samuel 7.
在撒母耳记下当中，神给了大卫经过诸多的征战以后，给了他一段和平的时期。
Furthermore, he built himself a luxurious palace of cedar.
所以在这个时候，大卫就给自己建造了一个豪华的宫殿。
But God's house, the tabernacle, was still a tent.
但那个时候，神的会幕依然只是一个小帐。
David had gone to a lot of trouble to bring the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem.
大卫几经周折，把这个神的约柜把它带到耶路撒冷。
But the place he had to put it was much less grand than his own house.
但是他把约柜放在的地方和他的豪华的宫殿相比，实在是太小。
This did not seem right to him, so he told Nathan the prophet he wanted to build a better house for God's name, a temple.
所以他心里面也觉得这个不妥当，所以他就让先知拿单造一个会幕，可以放这个约柜在里面。
He wanted the building to reflect the fact that God was far more majestic and powerful than he was.
所以大卫想造一个放约柜的这个帐幕，是能够反映出这个神的华丽和威严。
Well, this sounded like a great idea to Nathan the prophet. Sounds like a good idea to me too.
所以这个对先知拿单来说是非常好的主意的，对我们来说听起来也非常的合理。
So Nathan said to the king, "Go, do all that is in your heart, for the Lord is with you."
所以先知拿单对大卫说：“去啊，按照你的心意去做，因为耶和华与你同在。”
But God had different ideas.
但是神有不一样的心意。
In 2 Samuel 7:5, God told Nathan,
但是在撒母耳记下第5章的时候，神就和他的仆人大卫这样说
"Go and tell my servant David, thus says the Lord, would you build me a house to dwell in? I will make for you a great name, like the name of the great ones of the earth, and I will give you rest from all your enemies. Moreover, the Lord declares to you that the Lord will make you a house when your days are fulfilled. You lie with you now with your fathers. I will raise up offspring after you, who will come from your body, and I will establish his kingdom."
所以在撒母耳记下这个第7章，神就对大卫的仆人说的：“耶和华如此说，你要建造殿宇给我居住吗？自从我领以色列人从埃及上来，直到今日，我未曾住过殿宇，却在会幕和帐幕中行走。凡我同以色列人所走过的地方，我何曾向以色列任何的一个领袖，就是我吩咐牧养我百姓以色列说过这话？你们为何不给我建造香柏木的殿宇呢？”
He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be to him a father. He shall be to me a son. When he commits iniquity, I will discipline him with the rod of men, with the stripes of the sons of men. But my steadfast love will not depart from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away from before you. As your house, and your kingdom shall be made sure forever before me. Your throne shall be established forever.
你必为我的殿宇，为我的名建造殿宇，我必坚立他的国度的王位，直到永远。我要做他的父，他要做我的子。他若犯了罪，我必用人的杖，用世人的鞭子责罚他。但我的慈爱仍不离开他，就像离开你们面前所废的扫罗一样。你的家和你的国必在你的面前永远坚立，你的王位也必坚定，直到永远。
The incredible thing about God's faithfulness is that even though he is not obligated to do anything for anyone, he still wants to find people to bless.
所以最神奇的事情是，神不光是和那些人立的约，而且他还要祝福这些人。
And he doesn't just promise to bless them. He enters into covenant to bless them forever.
而且不光是要祝福人们，他还要让人和一起进入到这个约中，得到他的祝福，直到永远。
And he doesn't just want to bless people, he wants to enter into a relationship with them.
他不光是要祝福人，他也希望和人建立一个亲密的关系。
A relationship that will never end.
这个关系将不会停止。
That is why Ethan wants to sing about God's faithfulness.
这个就是以太要为神的约而颂赞。
This great God wants to make a covenant, an eternal covenant that spills over and affects all of us.
这就是神他要和人立的约，不光是和某一个人，而是对所有世上的诸人和世人所立的这样的一个永远的约定。
And this covenant keeping God is so amazing, even the angels recognize it.
所以这个约是如此的让人惊讶，甚至天使都意识到。
Secondly, we see God's majesty is seen in heaven.
所以我们能看到神他的威严在天上也是如此彰显。
Let the heavens praise your wonders, O Lord, your faithfulness in the assembly of the holy ones. For who in the skies can be compared to the Lord? Who among the heavenly beings is like the Lord, a God greatly to be feared, in the council of the holy ones, and awesome above all who are around him? O Lord God of hosts, who is mighty as you are, O Lord, with your faithfulness all around you.
耶和华诸天要称谢你的奇事，在圣者的会中要称谢你的信实。因在天空中谁能比耶和华呢？诸神之中有谁像耶和华呢？在圣者的会中，他是大有威严的神，在他周围所有的更可畏惧。耶和华万军之神啊，哪一个大能者像耶和华？你的信实在你周围。
Over 1,000 times in Scripture, God is called the Lord of hosts.
在圣经当中有几千次的重复到，神被称为万军之神。
Have you ever stopped to ask yourself what hosts he is Lord of?
我们有没有问过这个万军到底是什么意思？
These hosts are the angels.
这些万军实际上就是天使。
And according to Revelation 5:11, they number a vast horde, far more than can be counted.
所以在启示录中提到了这些天使的数目有千千万万。
Each one of these mighty beings has existed from the dawn of time.
这些天使就是从创世之初就存在。
They are wiser and stronger than any human.
他们要比人更加的智慧，更加的圣洁和有力。
They are completely holy, having never sinned even once.
他们这些天使都是圣洁的，从来没有犯过罪。
Imagine standing in heaven and watching a vast host of these mighty, ancient, holy beings.
我们可不可以想象神在宇宙之间能够俯视这些由圣洁的诸神和天使组成的庄严和威严的队列？
And in this majestic assembly, though, there is one whom they all stand in awe of.
所有这些威严的天使的队列当中，却是有一位神是他们的神。
God, who sits on his throne, is so much more majestic and greater than they are, that they stand in awe of him.
所以在这些天使的面前，是神坐在荣耀的宝座前，威严地注视着他们。这些天使都要停下来，向神显出他们的敬意。
This is how great the God is who makes covenant with us.
这个就是和我们立约的神。
It is this majestic God that chooses to obligate himself to bless us.
所以就这位神，他却让自己立下这样的约来祝福我们。
When we sing about God, how conscious are we that we are singing to this majestic God?
当我们在颂赞神的时候，我们的心中是否有这样的意识，是这样一位威严的神是值得我们颂赞？
When we pray, we realize we're talking to the Almighty God of the universe.
当我们在祷告的时候，我们是否知道、意识到我们祷告的这个神是创造宇宙诸天的神？
This is the one that even the angels stand in hushed awe.
这位神就是连天使在他的面前都静然无声。
But this majestic covenant-keeping God does not just sit in heaven.
但是这位威严的神不光光是高高的坐在天上的宝座上。
Third, his power is also seen on earth.
但是他的大能也彰显在地上。
Beginning in verse 9, you rule the raging of the sea. When its waves rise, you still them. You crush Rahab like a carcass. You scatter your enemies with your mighty arm. The heavens are yours. The earth also is yours, the world and all that is in it. You have founded them, the north and the south. You have created them. Tabor and Hermon joyously praise your name. You have a mighty arm, strong is your hand, high your right hand.
你管辖海的狂傲，波浪翻腾，使它平静。你打碎了拉哈伯，使他如遭刺的人。你的大能的臂膀打散了你的仇敌，天属你，地属你，世界和其中充满的都为你所建立。南北为你所创造，哈伯和黑门都因你的名欢呼。你有大能的膀臂，你的手有力，你的右手也高举。
Only God can rule the sea.
只有神能管辖大海。
Now I would say most or all of you have crossed either the Pacific or the Atlantic at some time or both.
我想我们大部分人都越过这个大西洋和太平洋，或者至少其中一个。
If you have, you know just how big it is.
当我们看到海洋的时候，我们无法想象这海洋的广阔。
You get in this plane that travels 600 miles an hour, and yet for hour after hour after hour, you look out the window and all you see is more water.
当我们乘在飞机上的时候，600英里每小时的飞机的时速，我们看到海，这海只是一个小时的，我们看到的仅仅是大海。
Even the largest boat is just a mere speck in this vast ocean.
尽管是世界上最大的船只在大海当中，也只是其中的一个小小的一点。
And if you stood on the seashore, on the beach and watched the sea crashing in, you have observed the power of the waves.
当我们看到这个大海的边上那个悬崖有一些大海的波浪上来的时候，我们才能够知道大海的力量有多大。
And yet God commands the sea.
但是神却能让这些翻腾的波浪平息。
Now, Ethan also tells us that God crushes Rahab.
以太也提到了这个神打碎了拉哈伯。
This is going to take a little explanation.
所以我们需要来解释一下这个拉哈伯。
This is not the Rahab who helped the spies at the battle of Jericho.
这个不是我们这个在耶利哥的那个战争当中的那一个拉哈伯，不是一个人。
The words are actually spelled differently.
这个两个拉哈伯的拼法是不一样的。
Now, there's a couple ideas that this could be, and it could be either one.
有可能是其中的之一。
This could be, Rahab could be another name for the devil.
但是这个拉哈伯也可能指的是这个魔鬼。
And one passage that illustrates this Rahab is also mentioned in Isaiah 51 verses 9 and 10.
所以在以赛亚书中也提到了这个拉哈伯。
Awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of the Lord. Awake as in days of old, the generations of long ago. Was it not you who cut Rahab in pieces, who pierced the dragon? Was it not you who dried up the sea, the waters of the great deep? Who made the depths of the sea a way for the redeemed to pass over?
耶和华的膀臂啊，兴起兴起，以能力为衣穿，像古时的年日，像上古的世代一样兴起。从前砍碎拉哈伯，刺透大鱼的不是你吗？使海于深渊的水干涸，在海的深处开路，使救赎的民走过的不是你吗？
Now, this name almost sounds mythical, but when you try to find another myth somewhere in the ancient world, there isn't one. This is only the Bible uses this name right now.
我们看到这个经文就像神话故事一样，但是在圣经当中提到这个拉哈伯的有几个地方，这是其中的一处。
But it mentions that this happened long, long ago, and it talks about a dragon.
而且这个事情发生在很久很久以前，而且和这个龙有关。
Well, the devil is called an ancient serpent and a dragon.
魔鬼是被称作为龙和蛇。
In Revelation chapter 20, verses 1 and 2, we're now moving ahead to what is future to us. And there we are told that the devil and Satan is the dragon, the ancient serpent.
所以在启示录当中提到，在末世的时候，那个魔鬼就是那龙，也是那股蛇。
So if that's the idea, then back in Psalm 89, Ethan is telling us that God is the one who defeated the devil back in the Garden of Eden.
所以在这个诗篇当中，以探讲到的这个哈拉伯就是神击碎的，就上古在伊甸园当中诅咒的那件事。
In Genesis 3, the devil was far smarter than the humans and used his intelligence to deceive Eve.
在创世纪当中，我们可以看到这条毒蛇就是撒旦，他用他的这个方式来诱惑了夏娃。
Used a snake to do it.
他用这个蛇来诱惑夏娃。
Because, of course, he was far smarter than either of the two people, he succeeded in deceiving them.
所以，这个撒旦用毒蛇来诱惑了亚当和夏娃犯罪，所以他的这个智慧高过了这两个人。
But he could not escape God. God judged the devil.
但是他无法超越神，因为神审判。
So that's one idea of what Rahab is. The other one is a little more pedestrian. It's Rahab could be another name for Egypt.
所以这是其中的一个解释。那么另外一个解释，有可能这个拉哈伯指的是埃及。
in Isaiah 30 verse 7, we see quite clearly Rahab is called Egypt. Egypt helps worthless and empty, therefore I have called her Rahab who sits still.
所以在这个以赛亚书中这样讲到，埃及的帮助是突然的，因为我称它为毫无中用的拉哈伯。
Now the name Rahab means proud one or boisterous one.
所以这个拉哈伯也可以称为是这个骄傲的。
So here, Egypt is called Rahab because she's proud.
因为这里埃及被称作拉哈伯，是因为他的心中有骄傲。
Now because we find in both in Isaiah and in Psalms that Rahab is referred to in connection with the sea.
所以当我们从这两处的经文当中都看到，这个拉哈伯是和大海有关的。
So if this is what is meant, if Rahab means Egypt, then this would be referring to the time when Israel crossed the Red Sea.
如果我们根据上下文来看，那么以赛亚书中这些经文讲到的是指的是神分开红海，让以色列人过红海。
The Israelites were a slave people.
以色列人在当时在埃及是奴隶，
They had no army.
他们没有军队。
Egypt was the most powerful nation in the world at the time.
在当时，埃及在全世界是非常强大的。
And yet God completely defeated the world's most powerful army at the Red Sea.
但是神却在红海击退了当时世上最强大的军队。
They thought they had Israel trapped.
他们以为以色列人被海困住。
But God miraculously parted the water as Israel went over on dry ground.
但是神行了他的大能的神迹，让以色列人走过了红海。
Then when the Egyptian army tried to follow them, the waters came crashing down and drowned them all.
所以当埃及军队在后面追的时候，当他们到了海里边，那个海水淹没了。
God totally and absolutely defeated the most powerful army and the most powerful nation in the world.
所以神在当时用了显而易见的方式，让全世界看到他击败了当时在世界上最强大的军队。
Whether Ahab means the devil or Egypt, the point is that God's mastery is demonstrated here on earth in our history.
所以我们能够看到，无论这个拉哈伯指的是魔鬼，还是指的当时的埃及过红海的这件事情，我们看到神在这个世上掌权，并行他的大能。
Now in Psalm 89, he also mentions north and south, Tabor and Hermon.
而且在89篇当中，他也提到了东南西北和黑门。
The Tabor and Hermon are mountains.
这个塔伯和这个黑门是两座山。
Mount Hermon is in the far north of Israel. It's by far the largest mountain at 9,000 feet.
所以黑门山是在以色列的西北面，它有9000尺高。
Mount Tabor is only 1,900 feet tall, but it is the site where Deborah and Barak defeated Sisera in Judges 45.
所以塔伯这座山只有1900尺高，但是呢，在这个地方，这个底波拉和巴拉他们击败了这个西西拉，在这个士师记里面提到这件事。
They are on the eastern and western sides of the Jordan River.
所以这个山在这个约旦河的东和西的两岸。
So Ethan could have just told us God is master of all the earth everywhere.
所以以他可以说神他掌管全地。
But this is poetry. He wants us to feel it, not just to know it.
但是因为这是诗，他用诗篇的方式让我们看到具体的神的大能在耶路撒冷。
So he mentions points of the compass and specific places so that we get a sense of that God owns everything.
所以他用这个东南西北的方向以及具体的地点，让我们看到神的大能是掌管全地。
We see then that God is also a God of great power.
所以我们也看到，以他让我们看到神也是有大能的神。
So this God who makes covenant with us is majestic and powerful.
所以和我们立约的神，他是威严的，也是大能的。
But that wouldn't really have a whole lot of meaning unless God were also righteous.
但是因为神他的公义，所以是让神的这个大能就更加具体。
We find God's righteousness is seen in His people.
我们看到神的公义在他的子民当中也彰显。
Righteousness and justice are the foundations of your throne. Steadfast love and faithfulness go before you. Blessed are the people who know the festal shout, who walk, O Lord, in the light of your face, who exalt in your name all the day, and in your righteousness are exalted. For you are the glory of their strength. By your favor our horn is exalted, for our shield belongs to the Lord, our King, to the Holy One of Israel.
14节到18节这样讲到：公义和公平是你宝座的根基，慈爱和信实在你的面前。直到向你欢呼的民，那民是有福了。耶和华，他们要行走在你脸的光中，他们因你的名终日欢乐，因你的公义得以高举。你是他们力量的荣耀，我们的脚必被高举，因为你喜爱我们。我们的盾牌是耶和华，我们的王是以色列的圣者。
God's righteousness means that everything He does perfectly reflects absolute moral rightness.
所以神的公义，它的彰显是完完全全的显示在是在全然的道德上是正直的。
And that's more than just God conforms to what is right.
不光是神他的特性是公义和正直。
Rather, it's the other way around. It's God's own character that is the standard of how we can know what right and wrong is.
所以神他的神性和品性彰显出的这个公义的标准，是让我们看到根据神的标准，什么才是真正的公义。
Therefore, because God always does what is right, when He acts as judge of all the earth, He is just.
所以，因为神他是公义的，所以他在地上审判的时候，他也是全然的公义。
The judgments He makes are always completely free from favoritism, self-interest, or bias.
所以，神的公义是没有偏见的。
But when we trust Christ as our Savior and become God's people, that righteousness becomes our possession.
当我们全然相信神的公义的时候，神的公义也在我们的心中。
It is the only way we can be right with God.
只有这样的方法，我们才能行为正直和神同行。
See, because we are sinners, God must judge us with justice, and that's bad for us.
因为我们是罪人，所以神必须凭着公义来审判我们，这就是神的公平。
But when we accept the gospel by faith, His righteousness becomes ours. We do not have to get His full justice.
所以，因为我们相信了神，所以他的公义在我们心中，我们就会得到神公义的审判。
And by faith, now, as Christians, we too become God's people.
因为我们因着信，我们成为神的子民。
Now, in the days of Ethan, when he wrote this psalm, the only people were the people of Israel.
当时以太写这个诗篇的时候，他给的当时的神的子民，仅仅是指的以色列人。
So in his day, if you wanted to be a part of the people of God, you had to become a Jew.
那个时候，如果要成为神的子民，只能是成为犹太人。
Thankfully, today we live in the era of the church.
但是感谢神，今天我们是在教会的时代。
And the church is composed of every people group on earth.
所以教会是在世上的所有的信徒所组成的。
All those who have accepted God's righteousness by faith.
所有的这些信徒都是接受了神的公义。
But that means the church is also the people of God.
所以教会也是神的子民。
And as the people of God, not only now do we enjoy God's righteousness and justice, but we also participate in His glory, His strength, and His favor.
不光我们能够享受神的公平和公义在因着我们的信心，而且我们也进入到神的公义、荣耀和喜乐里。
So all of us who know the Lord, as we move through this world, the glory of Almighty God and His strength and favor rests upon us.
所以在我们在这个世上生活的时候，神的公义和他的平安就在我们的心里。
And as people look at us, that's what they think of God when they see us.
当人们看我们的时候，可以从我们的言谈举止当中能够看到神，我们相信的神是什么样的神。
It's been well said that you may be the only Bible some people ever read.
有一句话说，你可能是这个世上的人看到的唯一的圣经。
It is a marvelous thing that God would condescend to make a covenant with anyone for any length of time.
所以最奇妙的事情， 是神他自己屈尊降世，和人各具体的人立下他的约。
But God delights in doing so much more than that.
但是神却喜悦要做的这个更大的事。
The covenants he makes with some people spill over to impact every person.
所以他和某些人立的约，却影响了世界上其他很多的人。
This is amazing because God is a God of great majesty and power.
这真的是很奇妙，因为这位神在这个世界上是如此的威严和大能。
He is so glorious that even the mighty angels stand in awe of him.
他是如此的荣耀，连天上的天使都要向他欢呼和敬畏。
He is so powerful that he rules the sea and the land and even the devil.
他是如此的有大能，他管辖大海，管辖大海、魔鬼和世上万有。
All the earth sings his praises.
全地都称颂他的名。
And greater than this, he is the perfect God of justice and righteousness.
他是一个完美的神，他具有完美的公义和公平。
And his glory, his strength, and his righteousness rests upon all of his people.
所以他的公义、大能和力量也在他信他的子民的当中。
He delights in using his power to rescue people out of their troubles.
他用他的大能来拯救那些人脱离困苦。
Sometimes to rescue them from trouble, sometimes to rescue them through trouble.
有的时候他让我们能够脱离这些困苦，有的时候让我们能够经历和经过这些困苦。
As the people of God, those of us who know him, show his power and his greatness to others.
所以，我们这些相信的人，就要向世人来显示神的伟大和他的大。
Can you sing God's faithfulness?
我们是否歌唱神的信实？
Are you in awe of his majesty?
我们是否在心中对他的威严有敬畏？
Is his power your comfort in distress?
这就是神在困苦当中给我们的安慰。
God bless his word.
求神祝福。